Let's bring in political science professor Andrew Polsky at Hunter College, Cooney. Thanks for joining us on the program today. This is the first time there have been major off-year races during a government shutdown. What political implications do you expect for both parties?
I'm not sure that the shutdown is going to have a big impact outside of Virginia. I think in Virginia it's felt very keenly. Many federal employees are temporarily, or if not permanently, out of work. And I think that they will blame the Republicans for this, which is why I think in Virginia the Democrat will win. A closer contest, and one I think less affected by the shutdown probably, is in New Jersey. And that is a state that the Democrats really do need very much. New Jersey has been a blue state. Mikey Sherrill is the Democratic candidate. And she does face something of an uphill climb here because in New Jersey, at least, the Democrats have not been able to retain control of the governor position for more than 2 consecutive terms, going back decades. And we're coming off two consecutive terms with a Democratic governor. So Sherrill does face an uphill climb there. And New Jersey has its own set of issues, ranging from, for example, high taxes. As a concern statewide, New Jersey is one state that has very high property taxes and other taxes as well. And that doesn't generally work to the advantage of a Democratic candidate. So Virginia is perhaps more affected by the shutdown, but in many ways, New Jersey is, I think, the more important contest because it's a state the Democrats really can't afford to lose, and it would be very demoralizing to them, I think, if they lost that race.
Some argue that Democrats say if they get a wide margin of victory, they could push Republicans to negotiate on their healthcare demands. And Republicans, meanwhile, are blaming Democrats for using the elections as an inflection point. So you don't think that a result will shift the shutdown strategy for either side?
No, I think actually what will shift the shutdown, if anything does, in the short run, will be the impact of the shutdown itself on an increasing number of voters. As was mentioned earlier in this broadcast, the increase in healthcare premiums that many face because of the loss of subsidies will have a very heavy, serious impact, not just on the people themselves, but also we're talking about healthcare systems that need the income, especially outside of major urban areas. They will be adversely affected by this too. So I think that the effect of the shutdown will happen as the impact of loss of government services becomes felt more widely.
And obviously this is one of the elections where it's seen as an early referendum on the Trump presidency, much like the midterms often are as well. What do you say to that? How will voters be casting, today's politics in the United States and their views on the Trump administration?
It's interesting. I think this matters more to the Democrats than to the Republicans. I think the Democrats really would be hit hard if they lost in New Jersey and or in Virginia. Though that would have an impact. But these are Democratic states, or at least they have been recently. And I think the Republicans would shrug their shoulders and say, we didn't expect to win these states anyway.
Republicans have been able to use the shutdown to their advantage, blaming the minority party for shutting the government down through their use of the filibuster. Has this narrative been effective at all?
I haven't seen much of an effect yet. I think people tend to blame the other party. If you're a Democrat, you blame the Republicans, and vice versa. I think what we're really watching is whether or not independent voters tend to fall on one side of the divide or the other. And then who they blame will become clear as time goes on. As of now, I think it's a fairly even split. Historically speaking, the party that causes the shutdown is the one that gets blamed for it. And that's an issue, that's a risk that Democrats have taken in supporting the shutdown until this point.
All right, Andrew Polsky, we'll leave it there. Really appreciate your time.
Very welcome.